540 ESPN.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks. You see it, KYJ. Things have changed just a little bit since the last time you were here.
I think you should see your oculus. Nothing wrong with my feet. I'm talking about your eyes.
I can even make my ass do tricks. Watch this. You have any idea where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. This is WCW. That's right. Hold on.
For over 10 years, the world's #1 source for professional wrestling news and information. And once again, here's your hosts, Damian Nelson, Frank Cosentino, and the man they call Meathead. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. We're live on Monday night, January 25th. 2010, coming to you from the downtown studios of 540 ESPN in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Damian Nelson sitting alongside the man they call Meathead, who's sitting alongside the Cause, and David Hero. Gentlemen, what a stacked show we have for you tonight. Coming up in just a few minutes.
I'm bringing the fair and balanced back, just so you know.
What?
Well, last week I wasn't here.
What do you mean fair
You were
and balanced?
locked out. That's what
You know why he wasn't here? He was out in Massachusetts screwing things up.
And there was a Pro TNA show last week, from what I understand. You guys even talk about the WWE.
We're gonna. You know what? When there's nothing to talk about, we don't talk about it. The fans drive this show. And who will be driving this show tonight? Our guest in just a few minutes, Ken Anderson. His first interview since signing with TNA Wrestling. He's coming back to the Pro Wrestling Report after that tremendous interview conducted with Ken in August of last year after his departure from WWE. Ken's going to have a lot to say, I'm sure. And coming up in the second hour, we've got one of our new analysts, Rasche Brown, the SkullKrusher, here live in the studio. Ring of Honor talent will be with us talking professional wrestling as well. So you must do so already if you haven't done so already, rather. That's join us and the Chatmosphere, pwrshow.com. That's pwrshow.com, where the live chat is going on. The conversation continues all night. And once we open up the phone zone later on, you can call us at 276-ESPN or 800-990-ESPN. But, gentlemen, WWE Raw going off the air. It looks as if Sheamus is on his way to a count-out victory over John Cena, perhaps.
I think you had him called correctly, and it wasn't Sheamus. You were about to pronounce his name. What is?
How are you going to tell me what I was going to say? Huh?
No, you had it.
Huh?
You had it.
Huh? Gentlemen, your thoughts on Raw? Going over the key points of what happened tonight. The Divas Tournament Finals were determined. The Miz just took the elevator to the top floor, it seems like, tonight. And also the announcement that Bret Hart is going to be back in that ring with Vince McMahon next Monday night on Raw. David Hero, your thoughts on the Raw so far?
Well, right now, look what we got going on. Randy Orton.
The true heel.
He's not a true heel.
He just RKO'd the world champion.
Well, they got a match coming up this Sunday on the Royal Rumble, which we will be previewing in-depthly.
And you had to know this was going to happen. Randy Orton had to get his revenge.
You know what? If we don't get the all-star break-apart at the end of this show, they may be breaking a 20-year tradition. Generally, the show right before the Royal Rumble, you end the show with everybody in the ring.
And let me ask you this, too. We were asking
the question, Dave.
We were asking this before we went on the air. What is more orange? Cena's gear, Sheamus's hair, or Randy Orton's fake bake?
Frank Cosentino, the Cause, your thoughts on WWE Raw, the go-home edition leading into the Royal Rumble this Sunday.
We're waiting for something at the end here to want you to buy the Royal Rumble next week, and you're waiting for all the wrestlers to come in at some point because that's what Royal Rumble's all about, but they're obviously showcasing a main event of some sort here, and now the worst finisher
Cena, here it is.
The worst finisher that really hurt.
Worse than the leg drop?
How about Gail Kim in the finals?
Gail Kim versus Marie in the finals. Now, I had heard a birdie told me that might have been Alicia Fox.
Yeah, it could have been two heels, Alicia versus Maurice.
Meathead, your thoughts on tonight's WWE Raw from Columbus, Ohio?
Nothing making me want to buy the Rumble more or less. That's what Raw did.
Are you going to buy the Rumble?
I'm going to watch the Rumble for free. No, I'm going to watch it for free. I'm going to.
But you work for Time Warner, so you steal them.
I don't steal anything. I'm not
Whoa,
that guy.
Wait a minute.
He
not
borrows
that way.
them.
Not that way.
Not
Come
that
on
way. I'm going to.
Bret Hart returns to WWE
that little
Raw.
magic box you were trying to sell me that won't work.
That was another side business he was doing.
Keep trying to push it. I'll lock you out again.
Bret Hart returns to WWE Raw next week. A couple of weeks later, after that January 4th guest host gig, he's back. and it looks as if John Cena is slightly involved, sort of prodding Vince McMahon to make the decision to allow Bret Hart to confront him in the ring next week. Dave Hero, your thoughts?
That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the challenge.
Have we waited too long?
No, not at all.
No.
The fans still love Bret Hart. Street fight.
I don't think they know who he is.
We
anymore.
called it back in August.
God,
thank you for bringing us along, Dave.
It's taken a while, but they wanted to start this earlier. January 4th, when Bret Hart came out. So now it's almost a month, 3 weeks. So now after 1 month here, we'll get an answer and finally start street fight or something, obviously for WrestleMania. But I'm not going to throw. I'm also going to. There could be some kind of enforcer that will be added to this.
When has Vince McMahon ever been in a regular wrestling match? In the past 5 or 6 years, it's always been a street fight or a
in the
gimmick
past
match.
5 or 6 years.
Don't you think there could be a special guest referee?
Who? Shawn Michaels?
I don't know.
Great. Meathead, your thoughts. Bret Hart returns to Raw next Monday night.
Why should I care? I mean, not to sound so cynical or callous.
You are negative, aren't you?
I'm not trying to sound cynical or callous, but explain to me why I should care.
Why should you care?
No, explain. I'm asking you to explain to me why I should care.
First of all, the calluses, just get some hand lotion and you'll be just fine.
The Miz takes the elevator to the top floor. It was a Miz-dominated Raw tonight. Kaz, your thoughts? And Miz was in several segments tonight, including He didn't win.
He had a lot of mic time.
He had a ton of time tonight.
The
it was
more
all about the Miz, it seemed like.
The more mic time this guy gets,
here we go.
It starts that momentum for the next superstar.
Wait, I thought you were about to announce that you were a Miz Marquis.
No,
Like
I can't steal your gimmick. But here's a guy that
Sorry,
they could
Frank,
elevate.
Damien will steal yours if you're not looking.
They could elevate this guy as the next. Who knows? Could be a champion within the next year. Well, obviously he's got the U.S. title or whatever title it is right now, but I could see him elevated into championship status within a year.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a timeout, and the conversation will continue at pwrshow.com in the chatmosphere when we return. Ken Anderson will be our guest. Certainly will have a lot to say, as he did last time when he was on this program. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com, and PWRShow.com. We're live Monday night, January the 25th, 2010. Damian Nelson here, joined by David Hero, the Kaz, and the man they call Meathead.
Who just hung up on Kennedy, or Ken.
Yeah, now we're trying to get Ken. Ken's in NYC in New York City. We're trying to get him back on the line. In the meantime, though, speaking of
and
Meathead,
in between time,
we've got a new feature here on the Pro Wrestling Report. It's somewhat of a returning feature. It's Beat the Meat again. Beat the Meat back, but it's slightly different this time, Meathead, where we name the topic here on the show each week, and the fans out there in the PWR, I almost said universe. Ouch. Fans out there in the internet wrestling community will call in with their own question for the man they call Meathead, and if Meathead can answer that question, you lose.
English, right?
If he can.
Hey now.
No. We're not putting any rules behind it aside from you ask the question, and if he can answer it, if it pertains to that subject, if he can answer it, you lost. If he can't answer it, you have beat the meat, and you will get a prize pack for the Pro Wrestling Report. So you can call in once we open up the phone lines. Go to the phone zone later on tonight, and you can play Beat the Meat again. It's been a while.
Giggity.
It's been a while since we have had the opportunity to beat the meat.
It's been a while since all of us have had the opportunity.
What's going on in the chatmosphere at PWRShow.com?
By the username, I have to guess it's One Night Land, because it's like one Nightk. Anyways, he said in the chatmosphere that the only thing Santino's going to be doing because I was looking at the name trying to figure out what it said. The only thing Santino's going to be doing in the Rumble this year is break his Rumble record of 1 second and be eliminated in 0.75 seconds.
But here's what I'm looking forward to. It ain't going to happen. We got this Abraham Washington show where we had it. A Santino Morales show. That'd be better than Tuesday Night Titan.
He's like in a kitchen or something, or
like Chow Italia?
Well, no, he did that already.
Didn't you?
Damien, didn't he do that? What the cooking show was
Dinner
in?
Impossible.
Dinner Impossible. He looked great on there. It was a great show. Yeah, I liked it. I watched it.
The Miz was on there. Gail Kim.
And
Santino.
Barbecue sauce.
Oh, yeah. Good old
JR. It's
and Big Show.
JR's hoping to be back by WrestleMania. Do you guys
do what?
Do you guys miss JR in WWE at this point? Starting with you, Meathead.
JR isn't going to improve the product in the ring. I mean, I miss having the voice of JR, but to be honest with you, he's not going to do it any better or any worse.
Oh, he knows how to tell a better story.
Is he not a true color commentator or play-by-play man?
He's not doing play-by-play. I'm not done. On SmackDown, he's not the play-by-play. He's the color commentator, per his words. So he's not a true color commentator. Frank Cosentino.
Yeah. JR, missing from WWE right now or not?
Not really. I mean, I would like to hear him for one match, maybe one of the main eventers. But other than that,
well, he doesn't have Joey Styles to kick out of the seats this year.
Dave Hero?
I think they missed JR quite a bit.
It's not going to make the ring product better.
No, but he tells a better story.
He tells a great story.
So that makes the ring product better.
No, it doesn't.
Because it gets the fans
so far off.
Because
8-11.
It gets the. It is 8-11. It is 8-11.
How do you, Jim? Okay,
you didn't have to explain all this. People are like 8-11, 9-11. People don't know.
8-11 is when Meathead said a few weeks ago that Randy
about
Orton
a month ago
is not a true heel. And that was one of the most asinine things I've ever heard.
But you know what? And I'll stand behind it till this day.
No, you're entitled to your opinion, however wrong it may be. But JR, how could you say he doesn't contribute to the in-ring product? He's a salesman. Every commentator is a salesman.
I get that. And JR is the best play-by-play man still around. Okay?
I want to hear what Rasche Brown has to say about this. We'll ask him in the second hour.
I'd like to finish my opinion without you cutting me off.
When Mick Foley got tossed off the top of the cage.
Good God Almighty.
They killed him.
Yeah. That killed him. As God
that
is my witness, he was broken in half.
It made it better, but it wasn't bad before JR put his stink on it.
But it made it so much better.
It made it better.
Where do you get your shovels?
No. Well, again, I feel like it's
same
a 3-on-1 here.
Gets his
well,
it's going to be 4-on-1 pretty soon when Rasche gets over there.
Hey, I got him a water. That should last him another couple minutes, right?
Water boy. How old are you, kid? 8, 9?
I'm 27 years old.
There you go. Just like with Meathead 811, you have the floor, you have the opportunity, uninterrupted for the next 45 seconds. Explain how JR does not contribute to the product.
He does contribute, but he's not going to make the in-ring product better. If it's the way it is now, JR's explanation of it isn't going to improve it to the point where we're going to have the product that we deserve.
He makes it more believable.
But not believable enough.
That was a long 45 seconds.
I'm done.
No, you're entitled to your opinion. That's what this
no matter how wrong
it may be. Now, Dave, your point, counterpoint.
No. Like I've said, JR. The match can be the worst possible, but it
can be the Drizzlins, and JR's going to make it into a shiny golden diaper.
He'll make it into some barbecue sauce. You know.
Yeah.
Again, we'll get a different perspective on that in hour 2 of the Pro Wrestling Report. We are still locating Ken Anderson, who is in New York. I hope he's okay.
He's in New York City.
That's where they make that paste picante.
I know exactly what happened. He's in the cash cab.
Oh,
that's a great show, by the way.
He's busy. He's winning money.
It's better than being in the
He's going to call us and do a shout-out
pretty soon.
Well, interesting discussion on Jim Ross, impromptu discussion. I disagree with you, Meathead. I agree with you, Dave Hero.
We know that Hero's
somewhere
in your pocket.
Between.
We know that Hero's in your pocket. We got it.
Stop it. Have that pen there, please.
Last week, we launched a new feature called the TNA Weekly Report Card. Basically, it's my perspective on how TNA did in the prior week. And we're going to talk about Impact from last week, leading into our interview with Ken Anderson coming up in just a moment. In the 6 areas in which we add up the score and give TNA Wrestling a grade point average. We're going to do so as we go through this journey of them changing their ways over the next few weeks and months. For pro wrestling, last week I give them a B. Above average. Innovation, I give them a C. Just because, especially with the screw job ending we saw on Impact, I mean, there was nothing really new about that. We've seen that before, so that wasn't innovative at all. Continuity, I still give them an average on that. It's as good as they can get right now. They're building stories, and from what I've seen of the tapings over the course of the next 3 weeks, a lot of stuff you saw last week on Impact is going to make a lot more sense by the time the next pay-per-view rolls around. As far as their logic, I give them a B, above average, doing good there. Things are making some sense, even with those continuity issues. And for character development, I really like what they're doing with AJ Styles. So that went from a C to a B. above average there.
A full grade point you went up?
Actually, it didn't. It stayed the same as last week. I just wanted to see if y'all were still listening. And as far as excitement goes, that's a C, average, a 2.5 overall GPA, down from its 2.7 last week. We are going to try to hail Ken Anderson again, or again, as they say, up north of the border. How often do you hear someone say that, north of the border?
No one. You're the only one.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report, where the conversation continues in the chatmosphere at pwrshow.com and live on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Now, this is a true heel. Kaz, David, you guys want to... Fish tells us when we're coming back.
Hey, I'm
Put your
ready.
headsets on. Get ready. Get up in this thing.
I'm ready to go.
I just heard something.
You know, Jake Roberts is retiring this year.
I read about that.
Yeah.
Is that on one of your shows there?
No. I'm not bringing Jake in.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report.
In your mind.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We are just waiting for our guest. Ken Anderson is going to be joining us in just a moment here on the show. In the meantime and in between time, during that time out, meathead, let's see what you can find in the chatmosphere that said something contributing to your opinion about JR, because I'm sure that's what you're going to read. Oh, you even wrote them down.
I've been practicing the last few weeks. Haven't you noticed? I write down comments.
I don't even look. I look at Frank's facial reactions to the things you say.
AD in the chatmosphere said Tony Schiavone was the best commentator ever. Come on, can I get a buzz?
Just
In the history
remember,
of
Dan.
What you just said is one of the most
That's
insanely
okay.
idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened
I'm
to
just
it.
repeating. Sore Wrist from the chatmosphere said Schiavone played a small role in TNA for a short time, I remember, and he was the third man on a TNA team. So I guess that's supposed to be an insult as well.
What was that guy's name?
Which one? Oh, Sore Wrist. Sore space Wrist.
Got it.
All right, let's talk about TNA Impact last week. Gentlemen, your thoughts? There's been a lot of very favorable reviews about it and a lot of not-so-favorite reviews about last week's Impact, which featured the TNA Screwjob. David Hero, your thoughts?
I didn't like the Screwjob. You know, I mean, they're trying to get Hulk Hogan over as the savior of TNA. You know, the all-American good guy, the babyface, but yet they screw over Kurt Angle, turns the fans. I mean, turns the fans against Hogan, and it was completely identical to the Montreal Screwjob.
Earl Hebner and all.
Kurt Angle spitting on Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Except Kurt must have been gassed because he couldn't work up a good loogie because it was just a spray.
Well, I'm sure they talked about that. You know,
You're not going to hawk
in
a
production.
snotty.
Yeah.
You're not going to hawk a
hey,
snotty
brother.
one on you.
Yeah.
Did they practice it?
But why do it?
Yeah, if you're not going to do it,
No,
right.
I mean, what's the point of doing a Screwjob thing? I mean, we talked about the relevance of it in today's day.
Because they're
going to
make Kurt Angle the top babyface.
But they couldn't think of something better to do than the Screwjob? Something.
The writing team, Ferreira and Russo, they were there.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, at the Montreal Screwjob.
All right, well, we're going to talk much more about TNA Impact. But you know what? Who cares what we think? Let's talk to somebody who was there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Pro Wrestling Report here on 540 ESPN, Ken Anderson. Ken, you're live. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us once again here on 540 ESPN in Milwaukee.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are things out in NYC?
Oh, wonderful. I just got done with 6 hours of acting classes, followed by a nice little cab ride from Soho to the Upper West Side.
Oh.
Frank said you were on Cash Cab. Is that true?
That's why I couldn't answer my phone earlier when you guys were trying to call.
There you go.
I was winning money.
What was the top speed in the cab? I have flown through Central Park faster than I think vehicles should travel on a residential road out in New York before, so it's always good times. Well, Ken, thank you very much for carving some time out of what is clearly a busy schedule to be a part of this program again, and we're going to keep it brief. And get
I like you guys. You know, you're all right. You got a good show.
Thank you very much for that. We're going to get right into it and talk about what everybody's talking about.
I got it, too.
Talk about what everybody's talking about right now, which is obviously your debut with TNA Wrestling back at Genesis. Ken, tell us, how did you come to terms and what made you make the decision to get back into the wrestling business with TNA Wrestling?
You know, it was something that I had kind of wanted to do for, you know, I mean, I had wanted to hopefully sign with TNA immediately after my WWE career ended, but had to make sure that I wasn't stepping into the to the wrong situation. You know, I kind of just got out of a relationship that wasn't necessarily good. You know, for probably both sides, both parties involved, for quite some time. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't make the same mistakes again, and that I wasn't setting myself up for failure. And so, you know, I just kind of sat patiently and waited. And when the time was right, when you know, after that tour of Australia with Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan, they kind of approached me and said, "Hey, you know, would you be interested in coming there?" And I said, "Absolutely." You know, we just kind of went back and forth for a little while, and it was a kind of a fun negotiation process.
As they always are, I'm
you
sure.
know, which is actually nice because, you know, when I first started with WWE, there was no negotiating at all. It was just, hey, take it or leave it, pal, you know. So, you know, it was nice to be able to kind of not pick and choose, but, you know, say, hey, you know, this is stuff that I won't stand for, and this is stuff that I'm willing to negotiate on. So it was kind of nice. And they really came through, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't have been happier with the debut, and I was happy to work with the best. I had worked with them before on a couple independent shows about 6 or 7 years ago, before I got called up to the WWE, so it was nice to be able to get back in the ring with them. I forgot how big he was. I think he's grown.
He's a big boy.
I think he's grown though since the last time I saw him. Like,
he is an intimidating monster for sure. Dave Hero?
You know, Ken, so you come into TNA, you're put in the semi-main event of the pay-per-view, and you tape the next 3 weeks of TV, and it looks like they got some pretty big plans for Mr. Anderson.
Thank you for that, by the way. Well, let's, you know, all I can say right now is that I'm really happy with the way things are going there, and I've had a lot of fun. Granted, it's only been a week, but you know what? I don't have somebody telling me exactly how to be me. You know, and that's just a difference of opinion, I guess, in the way that things are run operationally. But so far, that's worked well for me, and you know, they just kind of give me a bullet point to let me go out there and do my thing, and let us kind of, you know, as artists in the ring, kind of call our own spots, and you know,
a more free atmosphere.
Our own promos a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
When you look up and down the TNA roster, Ken, are there some wrestlers that you'd like to work with?
There's some AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, you know, Christopher Daniels. I'd love to get in the ring with Abyss. Some more.
Hey, you talk about getting back into the ring with Abyss. There were some mixed reviews to that first matchup at Genesis with Abyss.
Well, you know, like the first meeting between two people is usually, you know, I mean, literally, we didn't have a lot of time to discuss that or you know, put anything together. I was kept secret all day long at the hotel. I didn't get to the building until 6 p.m. that night. So, you know, I mean, every time you get into the ring with somebody for the first time, granted, I had worked with them 6 years ago, but, you know, that was 6 years ago.
It was like working with a cruiserweight compared to the heavyweight that you're working with now.
Boy, it's a big difference. So, you know, I think that as time wears on, we will be able, and we work with each other more. You're always able to iron out the kinks and, you know, put on a better performance.
Now, the TNA fans, some of them have turned their backs on TNA.
Turn their backs on TNA? Why is this?
Well, you know, they're saying that this Hogan thing, this Bischoff thing, you know, the people they're bringing in ain't good. It's not doing anything for the company. What are your thoughts?
Well,
on the fans.
I would say that they tried things a certain way for a good number of years, and you know, WWE is still pulling 3.5s, and TNA was pulling, you know, 0.9s and 0.8s and stuff like that. So at some point, I think you have to make a business decision and say, like, what are these guys doing over here that we're not doing? And what aren't they doing that we could maybe do that would be a little bit different? But ultimately, it's about getting ratings and coming out on top. So
Ken,
I think at some point you got to make changes, and you got to shake things up. And people don't like change. You know, they like
change is scary.
Status quo. And a lot of times when they say that they don't like change, you give it a couple years or a couple months, and you know what, this isn't so bad after all. So see what happens. Too early to tell.
Ken, your thoughts on Bubba the Love Sponge?
You know, he speaks his mind, that's for sure. And I appreciate somebody who speaks their mind. You know, I think nowadays you have too many people out there that hide behind, you know, I don't want to, ooh, better not say that. Ooh, better not go there because it might hurt somebody's feelings or, you know, we live in a free country. And, you know, you can have, you know, you can be a Democrat, I can be a Republican, Dave can be a libertarian, and we can all agree to disagree. We can all agree to disagree.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we can all sit and be friends and hang out and still, you know, respect each other for our differences. So,
hey, Ken, now obviously you from your Twitter page, we know that you didn't get to see the full thing last night. You missed the first game, got to see the end of the second game. Now, we're a little conflicted here, and we're a little confused. We know that you're a Packer backer to start. We know that you live in Minnesota. What do you think about Favre's decision announcement today that, you know what, I'm not sure if I'm coming back, but boy, it was fun. Were you one of the guys? Because I'll tell you right now, I kind of wished leprosy on him during the game, just because I'm a little tired of seeing Brett Favre and hearing about Brett Favre. Speak a little bit about Brett Favre and his decision to maybe bail on his third team in 3 years.
Is that what he said? He said he's thinking about bailing again?
Yeah, he says, you know what, I'm not really sure if I'm coming back.
He's working on a sponsorship deal with Kleenex right now.
Come on,
guys.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know, man. I've got mixed emotions, and you know, he is Brett Favre. I mean, you know, 2 years ago when everybody said he didn't have it, he took the Green Bay Packers.
Ken, we're watching ESPN right now, and the quote is, "It's unlikely that I'll return next year, but it's been an awesome year. Thanks." That was the quote right on the ticker.
Oh,
yep.
Well,
he said that last year too.
Yeah, he said that last year, the year before that. Who knows? I guess we'll find out come kickoff of week one next year. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that. You know, he is Brett Favre, but I don't know. I was kind of angry that he left in the first place. But you know,
I guess maybe we can just kind of summarize by saying a lot of us around here, and you know, I'll speak for most Packer fans that at least I interact with. Most of us were just angry that he decided it was more about Brett Favre than it was about the team itself, and that's what it seems like. I mean, if he leaves the Vikings this year and decides to go to another team, it's definitely about Brett Favre versus, you know, the team itself.
Is this fantasy?
Definitely, and why would he? You know, I don't understand why he would leave this team and go to a different team since the team is strong anyways, and they almost made it to the Super Bowl. I mean, they were pretty close. No, but then again, you know, a couple of years ago, everybody was saying, "Oh, Brett needs to hang it up. Brett needs to hang it up." Well, then he took the Green Bay Packers to the NFC Championship and almost brought them to the Super Bowl if it hadn't been for that interception at the end of the game. And you know, so I don't know, but I do agree with you when you say that it's all about Brett Favre because, and I didn't want to believe that, but the moment that it kind of dawned on me this season was when Childress was going to take him out, was going to bench him, and he said, "Hell no."
Yeah.
Which, you know, you listen to your coach. I don't care. That's just, you learn that in Pee-wee, you know, in the Pee-wees that you listen to your coach. And it was kind of funny because who else got benched that week? Peyton Manning got benched, I believe. And he kind of went on there and took a little stab at Brett Favre, I think, when somebody asked him, "Hey, when the coach, you know, pulled you out of the game, what did you think about that?" And he said, "You know what? That's my coach, and I listen to what he says." So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of disheartening.
Ken, we're going to take a brief time out and come back and finish this segment out. We want to talk about what you're doing out in New York and how those acting classes are going. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Really, Chris? We got Ken Anderson on the line. You're coming back with a 1, 2, 3 kit. Really? Really? Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We are live with Ken Anderson right now of
really
TNA Wrestling.
A tribute to Kid Xbox over here. You know?
What?
Yeah, Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that's my new name is Xbox Live.
Back to Ken Anderson joining us live from New York City tonight. Ken, you said you're out in New York working on some acting classes. Tell us what you got down the pipe. I know you've been reading some scripts and working on some other projects. What are you willing to tell us right now for what else is going on in your world outside of wrestling?
Well, I had a couple shows. I got a couple shows in New Jersey on Friday and Saturday night. So I thought I would, as long as I was out here, come in a couple days early and kill a bunch of birds with one stone. And so I set up some acting classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Got meetings with, my team on Thursday. And then, I'm actually got 2 auditions lined up for Wednesday, too. So, I don't know. I'm just, always looking to improve, I guess. And I think that taking the acting classes helps me in the ring and on the mic as well as it does, in landing other roles.
So it's safe to say we'll see Ken Anderson in Tooth Fairy 2.
Oh! I think that's Dave Hero trying to channel the fact that he wants to see you in a tutu is kind of what that is.
Wow. Thanks.
Ken, you said you were out in New Jersey for some TNA house show events, I think.
No. Actually, they're some independent events.
Michael O'Brien, Northeast Wrestling.
Actually, James Subasis, I believe, this week.
James Subasis.
Oh, look at that. David Hero wrong for once.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, do you want to be wrong or do you want to be happy?
Jot it down. I was wrong for once.
Ken, there have been a lot of rumors out there about TNA's house show business and them potentially walking away from it and reallocating those resources to some other things. What are your thoughts on that, or what insight can you share?
I have no idea. That's the first I'm hearing of it, guys, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. I kind of like the fact that I was able to go in and tape a whole month's worth of TV in 4 days. I'll tell you, that's a pretty sweet deal. I'm not kidding you. Because then, you got the rest of the month to rest your body. That's one thing about being on the road. You know what? And pursue other things. That's one thing about being on the road 52 weeks a year. And maybe one of the reasons that I might have been injury-prone was that I was working 5 days a week.
Wait, did Ken Anderson just say you were injury-prone?
We saw you. We were very concerned about your wrist after Genesis.
Is that the acting classes, or is that just a tribute to your final match?
That was actually, yes, that was from the acting classes.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Special shout-out for Tom Todoroff.
It can't be too bad to wake up on one, Sunday, cold Sunday day up in Minnesota and say, I'm going to Orlando for a pay-per-view tonight.
Oh, beautiful. Orlando is honestly one of my favorite places. Universal Studios and Disney World are like 2 of my favorite places on planet Earth. I don't care what anybody says about that. You can make all the fun of me that you want, but let's get it hard.
I could ride the Incredible Hulk and Dueling Dragons all day long. But have you traveled up and down the OBT yet, Orange Blossom Trail?
I have not.
Now, that's an adventure all by itself.
Oh, yeah. That's the first place I saw real live prostitutes on OBT.
Real live?
They've been dead?
They were close.
I don't know what you guys are even talking about right now.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We've got Ken Anderson joining us. Ken, thank you very much for being a part of the program. And TNA Wrestling, basically the question is, Hogan came in, Bischoff came in, lots of changes going on. You're a big part of that. 6 months from now, after everything has had a chance to settle in and the company is firmly headed in the direction that Hulk Hogan wants to see it go, where do you see TNA Wrestling and your involvement with it?
Well, I still see myself as, I'll be there for a year. Oh, wait, I forgot I was just on a show-by-show basis. I wasn't a team player.
Oh, if it's on the internet, it's true. What I heard.
No, I will be there for a year. And, I don't know. I don't like to make, definite predictions. I will say that I think that that some changes are being made to make the product more entertaining as a whole. I think that wrestling as a whole is missing entertainment and trying to pretend and masquerade like it's UFC. Like wrestling right now is afraid of UFC, but they're 2 totally different animals, I think. People like wrestling because of the tongue-in-cheek humor and the silliness of it sometimes.
Right.
And every once in a while, a guy like Kurt Angle comes along, and that's special because he's different from everybody else. But everybody being an MMA fighter in the WWE or in TNA wrestling, I don't think it works. But anyways, I don't know. I think that things will be looking up in the next 6 months. I really do.
Well, they definitely got the horses. I mean, they got the Ken Andersons, the Val Venuses, the Bobby Lashley's.
Ken Anderson. So. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Nasty boys.
They bring back the nasty boys. You know.
I tell you what, I don't care. I've heard people say some stuff about nasty. I love me some nasty boys, man. I really do. I get a kick out of it.
Hey, they already have their own T-shirt in TNA. You know they're going to be there for a little while.
I dig the nasty boys. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. They're funny.
Well, Ken, thank you very much for coming on the program again. We know, again, you're busy out in New York doing your thing. We appreciate you taking some time out of your evening to join us and speak to the fans all over the world. Best of luck to you in TNA Wrestling, and we look forward to talking to you again here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
10-4. Once again, ladies, pleasure has been all yours.
He was talking to me, dude.
That was ladies singular. Thank you very much, Ken. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We're going to be able to start taking your phone calls now in the PWR phone zone. The numbers, in case you don't have them already written down, 276-ESPN or 1-800-990-ESPN. Again, that's 276-ESPN or 1-800-990-ESPN. Ken Anderson, gentlemen, joining us again here on the Pro Wrestling Report. First interview since signing with TNA Wrestling, and got a lot going on in his life right now.
It's the third time he's been with us.
Second, I thought.
Third.
Third.
He did one twice. He did the first interview,
right.
He did the just middle interview, and then this one.
Look at that.
The trifecta.
Pay attention
I'm getting old.
to the product.
Look at all the people we've had, David.
Product.
It's difficult to keep track. We're down interns. I'm going to break down here in a minute.
And the interns we got apparently are scouring all the tape to, find all the lies that I've said.
No, just
they aren't lies. That's the problem. You believe
them.
They are. They're the truth.
It's just mistakes.
No. You want to be wrong or happy? Which one do you want to be?
Baby.
Wrong and happy?
Sunday, January 31st, Romine's High Pockets restaurant on 27th and College is giving away 4 of the best seats in the house to see WWE's Royal Rumble on pay-per-view. All you have to do is be lucky caller number 5. You'll be so close to our TVs, you'll fill every chokehold, body slam, and pile driver. And while you're there, Romines will give you a $25 food and beverage voucher so that you and your friends can shout out on the best food in Milwaukee. Be caller number 5 from the local area and experience the ultimate battle between mortals this world can see. That's 276-ESPN or 1-800-990-ESPN. Got a little special deal going with Romines there down on the south side of Milwaukee.
That is the place to be for pay-per-view.
Absolutely. The place for us to be. There's nowhere else to go.
We're going to be there.
Live and in charge.
We're going to
be taping a video segment after the program.
For the wrap-up.
I might even show up, potentially including some fans with in that video wrap-up. Those are very popular out there in the broadcast world of the Pro Wrestling Report. So come on
the
down.
One that Frank did, the Survivor Series with you, Damien, was like one of our top 10 over the last.
Frank's a special attraction, a hot commodity, if you will. We're going to be letting Meathead interact with all the fans. As he has requested that.
Well, it all depends if all that paperwork's been cleared or not.
And you got to understand, the fiancé will be in the building, so there won't be any interacting, Dave.
All right, what's the wink for, dude? I don't want to interact with you sick freak.
Hey, another Golden Girls moment. Blanche says to Dorothy, "I'm desperate. I need help. I need something to do." Dorothy looks at her and says, "Blanche, there's nothing I can do to help you. So get that look out of your eye and get your hand off my wrist."
I don't watch that show either.
You should.
But you know what? We're going to be partying there. We're going to have gimmicks to give away.
Absolutely. It's going to be a party down at Romine, so come on down and join us. And remember, caller 5 gets the best seats in the house and a $25 food and beverage voucher for Romine. It's caller 5 at 276
And the cool
ESPN.
thing about it is, though, is that Meathead's going to will be your personal waiter.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. You are getting your comeuppance every single week right here on this program. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com, and PWRshow.com. Special thanks again to our guest, Ken Anderson, calling in with some insight into what's going on in TNA right now. And congratulations also to Dave out in Waukesha. He's going to be partying with us at Romines this Sunday night. He won that $25 food and beverage voucher and also the best seat in the house. He's got Dave Hero's chair this Sunday.
Yeah, that's the Dave Hero and Jack's seat, isn't it?
That's this Sunday for the pay-per-view. And remember, all of you can come down and join us for the WWE Royal Rumble live at Romines, where they party every day, from what I understand.
I can't wait
Except for President Sam Yom Kippur, you're killing it.
I can't wait to see Meathead, wiping off the table, bringing some more chips out. Would you like fries with that kind of thing? It's going to be awesome.
See, what these guys don't realize is I spent a good 14 years there.
Oh, we realize it.
Oh, you tell us every week.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten.
The phone
Don't
lines
forget,
are
that's
full.
my house.
The phone lines are full. The number 276-ESPN or 1-800-990-ESPN. We're going to be going into the phone zone right after the Sports Center update here on 540.
Did you see the size of the guy that just walked in and has taken Frank's spot tonight?
The SkullKrusher, Rasche Brown?
He's a beast.
Oh, he is a beast. And, you know, the one of the primary reasons is we need somebody to put Control A over Meathead A.
Gotcha. I hear you.
He needs, you know, just saying.
Is that meat Latin? Beef Latin. That's what Rasche said. It's beef Latin.
What happened in the atmosphere during the timeout? Meat Latin.
Dave, the true wrestling fan, who might even be Dave from Waukesha, who just won the ticket, says that was a very terrible go-home show for the Royal Rumble. Did not, you know, again, like I had said, did not really make you want to order it more or less.
You know, the Royal Rumble is one of the gimme pay-per-views of the year, though, for WWE.
I think so,
SummerSlam,
too.
Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
It is my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Even when it was
Royal
60
Rumble.
seconds. The intervals.
What is it now? 30?
No, it's 90.
They don't announce
90?
it anymore.
It's
You
supposed
find out
to
the
be
day
90.
of the show.
Yeah.
The standard was like 2 minutes. When we come back, we still have a lot to cover in the show, including a full preview of this Sunday's WWE Royal Rumble. We're going to give you the opportunity to play Beat the Meat. Our 10 weeks of Wrestlemania continues
Number 9
this
tonight,
week,
right?
along with our top 5. Yes, indeed, number 9, our top 5, and more. That's coming up next. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks. You see it, KYJ. Things have changed just a little bit since the last time you were here.
I think you should see your oculus. Nothing wrong with my feet. I'm talking about your eyes.
I can even make my ass do tricks. Watch this. You have any idea where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. This is WCW. That's right. Hold on.
For over 10 years, the world's #1 source for professional wrestling news and information. And once again, here's your hosts, Damian Nelson, Frank Cosentino, and the man they call Meathead. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
Welcome to Hour 2 of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com, and PWRshow.com. We're live Monday night, January 25th, 2010. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside the man they call Meathead and David Hero and Ring of Honor's very own Rasche Brown, the SkullKrusher.
Wait a minute. We got some Ring of Honor in here?
You know what?
Yeah!
When we do it big. Rasche, big announcement to make. Firstly, welcome to the program, but a big announcement to make, a new deal.
Yeah.
A new deal with Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Yep. I'm there.
Well, this is going to be good.
Too bad, kids. I'm there.
We were talking before the timeout a little bit about the WWE Royal Rumble, and we're going to give some fans the opportunity to give us their perspective on their thoughts of the Rumble going into it. Let's first go to the phone lines out in Orlando, Florida. Glenn on line 2. You're live on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Glenn, what's popping?
2 questions for you tonight about the Royal Rumble.
And go.
What is a better business move? Brett and Vince confrontation at Raw or at the Royal Rumble?
On Raw.
You got to remember that the WWE is a TV entertainment company, and they do it for ratings.
All right, now
the reason being is on Raw, if they push it on Raw, then they're potentially going to get more for the Royal Rumble, and it's a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
You rarely see hot-shotting on pay-per-views. Rarely.
All right, another question is,
okay.
Do you think the meaning of the Royal Rumble means less now because everyone has to qualify and guys are just announcing it, when back in the day they had a lot more qualifying matches?
I think the meaning of the Royal Rumble has lost a little significance only because of not that so much as in the No Way Out / now called the Elimination Chamber, where you could lose your Royal Rumble, championship or your opportunity to, wrestle for the championship, plus the extra brand, so you don't know if you're wrestling on Raw, you're wrestling for the SmackDown belt. So it's lost a little bit of the meaning, but Royal Rumble is still one of my favorite pay-per-views.
Yeah, same here.
My prediction, I'm just putting this out, my prediction for the Royal Rumble, HBK, and then it's going to be HBK Taker, where the Money in the Bank winner cashes in after that match and wins. Whoever wins the Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, guys.
Rushy Brown, by the way.
You held it in a long time there. Thank you, Glenn from Orlando, for the call.
What happened with all these stipulations to have a match? I mean, Money in the Bank and Elimination Chamber, and I beat your sister Tuesday, so I get a title shot Thursday. What is this? I want wrestling!
I don't know what we're yelling about! There were no stipulations in your matchup on ROH on HD Net this past Monday night, Rasche.
There was one stipulation. I was coming out the winner, and somebody was going to have a big headache when the night was over.
That somebody looked to have been Bobby Shields.
Yeah.
Let's continue on the phone lines.
I'm still confused that Meathead's sister's name is Tuesday.
Whoa. Hey now.
That was your sister?
That's above my pay grade. Gilberto from Florida, line 1. You're live on the Pro Wrestling Report at 540 ESPN.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Gilberto, I'm confused by what's going on. Can you help me?
Oh, well, I'm just excited for the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Well, after tonight, 2 things I noticed. One with Legacy. Now, depending on what happens between Sheamus and Randy, I think if usually they have the title matches before the Rumble match, obviously. So if Randy wins, I'm kind of throwing it out there, but I think DiBiase might win it. I'm just throwing it out there. And with DX, you know, tell you the truth, I honestly really don't.
Well, don't lie to us.
Well, well, really, I don't really think Shawn Michaels needs to win the Rumble to have a match with Undertaker because, you know, Triple H 8 years ago, same place, he won it. Way better build-up 8 years ago, by the way, coming back from that 8-month injury that he had.
You mean when he crushed Chris Jericho?
Yes, yeah.
You know what? It's going to be Triple H and HBK, the last 2 guys, and then Triple H is going to win it all.
I mean, yeah, okay, but, you know, I see for the last 5 months, they've been building up. One guy that I could say they've been building up a lot is Kofi Kingston, right? Now, I'm going to compare him to Batista in 2005. Late 2004, he started getting a big push, big face pop, and then 2005, it capitalized when he won the Rumble and got into WrestleMania and beat Triple H. Now, if they want to push young stars, then why do they have to stick with the same guys, you know?
Well, they are pushing young stars, young orange-colored stars, daywalkers.
What is your thing with orange? I don't get it.
I'm telling you, all 3 of those guys in the ring
are talking
orange.
about Randy Orton's tan tonight? Come on.
Fake.
Gilberto from Florida, thank you very much for the call. The phone lines are lighting up.
They're
all over the country. And as we were talking to Ken Anderson earlier on and talking about TNA wrestling, let's go out to the East Coast and talk to Rob in Syracuse, New York. He's the one that beat up Shawn Michaels in a bar a couple of years ago. Let's talk about Jeff Jarrett versus Hulk Hogan. You're live.
Hey, guys. How you doing tonight?
Hey.
Well, it's tomorrow where I am, but whatever.
It's like doing a Tonight Show after 12 o'clock.
Well, don't get hot about it, Rob.
Hey, don't meet it. Don't tell him.
No, I'm
about
actually
hot
about this.
By the way, how is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is looking very green for some reason.
All right, Rob, what do you have for us? Jarrett versus Hogan.
All right, I don't know if it's a work or if it's a actual heat because I remember in
Wrestling
WCW
is a work.
Yeah,
no, I'm just messing with you, Rob. Come on.
Let him talk!
I don't know if it's work or if it's legitimate heat between Hogan and Jarrett, considering the last time we saw them in the same ring, I believe that's when Booker T won his first title.
Bash at the Beach 2000.
Let me answer a question for you. If you don't know, they're doing their job.
True. I mean, I honestly, I know Hogan's supposed to be the babyface in this whole entire thing, but I'm rooting for Jarrett.
No, the plan was to have Jarrett and Mick Foley as the baby faces. And they just haven't decided which way they're going to go with anybody.
Well, on each piece of TV so far,
one of the
got...
writers still in catering.
Is that where they met Damien?
No, I don't. I got kicked out of catering.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that is him. Oh, my God.
So they brought that Rob Terry in, and he had all the food. So I
have to ask you guys this because I know when are you guys going to become worldwide on ESPN? When are you going to become what's the word I'm looking for? I'm reading and I forget.
Well, Rob, let me answer what you're asking, and thank you very much for inquiring about that. Thanks for the call. You know, we are broadcast on 540 ESPN in Milwaukee. We're extremely happy with our home and our time here in our hometown of Milwaukee, and we have the opportunity via ESPNMilwaukee.com to indeed broadcast all over the world, and as well as our video product available at PWRshow.com as well, and we'll see where things go from there. But we're very happy right here where we are right now, and welcome all of our listeners from all over the world. You talk about Australia, Ireland, the United Kingdom, everywhere. Pro Wrestling Report is, as you say, David Hero, over.
Oh, huge over. But the problem why we haven't gone worldwide is because nobody wants to take on Meathead's big contract.
First class.
That and Meathead's
smoking lounge.
You know, clones.
Thank you for that call, Rob.
Is that clone meat?
Yes, I clone my meat every day.
Oh, Lord. Rob, thank you very much for calling from out in Syracuse. Let's go now to line 2, and we talked about it earlier. The best seat in the house, and $25 went to Dave in Waukesha, but right now we've got Dave from Romines live on line 2. Dave.
Diamond Dave!
Go right ahead.
All meathead, all day.
Wait, are you trying to sell something good or trying to deter people from doing something?
That's all the people need to know. Meathead, all day, every day. Brett Favre. Meat!
Yes, sir.
The voice of the meat is back with Romines on our new TV commercials. We was away from us for a bit, but we brought the pro back, and we're pretty happy about that. You know, Dave from Waukesha is going to have a pretty good time over there. Romines up there with us guys. And, you know, talking about TNA, you know, as you know, at Romines we show all the, you know, the wrestling pay-per-views and UFC, whatnot. But I did try to buy TNA, and I can't buy it from any provider.
Not available, huh?
Not available through
for a commercial unit. For
commercial accounts. That's right. So they finally got some, you know, a little boost with Hogan and the boys that I thought it was worth taking a shot. One of the problems that they had, several months ago, you actually could have bought it, and they wanted the same amount of money to show their product as WWE, and obviously that would be a tough sale. But I'm going to tell you, last week we had easily, I would guess, about 70 calls if we're going to show that pay-per-view.
Genesis,
yeah, TNA's pay-per-view Genesis. Yeah, TNA is blown up right now.
There's a market out there for it. A lot of buzz as well, too, going on with, you know, as you said, Hogan coming in and all the changes going on with the company.
But, you know, to get to the next level, they gotta, I think, get that commercial account thing going, because that's a huge way to get your product out there to see people that don't want to, you know, spend the $49.
The unwashed, as you call them.
Oh, God, meathead, honestly.
What?
Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. I've enjoyed listening to the show.
Hey, Dave,
yeah?
you're giving away Cousin Jack's seat?
Yeah, that's Cousin Jack and Dave Hero's seat.
And his nachos.
Hey!
All me that every day.
Yeah, did you say that Cousin Jack's picking up the tab on that?
Yeah, that's highly unlikely.
He would be paying in lint.
Dave, we look forward to seeing you Sunday night at Romance for the pay-per-view WWE Royal Rumble. We're going to take a timeout, and we are going to then come back and talk to Bowman from Boston and Dave from New Jersey. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. You know, maybe we should play right after this to the TikTok You Don't Stop. How much longer does Matt Hardy have in WWE?
Well, believe me, he'll show up in TNA in a heartbeat.
Meathead at PWRshow.com. The Championsphere blowing up during the timeout. What are the fans all over the world saying?
Wrestling Fan 09 in the Championsphere. Obviously, I was going to notice this one has voted for PWR in every category in the Wrestling Radio Awards. Also, and I'm not trying to say, but I'm just saying he voted for Meathead as host of the year.
That is this Sunday, WrestlingRadioAwards.com, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the ceremony. Pro Wrestling Report nominated in several categories. I believe a total of 13 nominations, including Show of the Year. So head on over and vote for your favorite at WrestlingRadio.com. Actually, we're going to be a part of that with a Royal Rumble preview, a special segment that's going to air on that show, and also going to be presenting some of the awards. Again, that's at WrestlingRadio.com. Appreciate your support there.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to. The mortgage doctor just, sent a message that he's going to be at Romines on Sunday.
You know what? There's no place to be. Let's make Sunday, this upcoming Sunday here in Milwaukee, let's make it like when the Packers are playing. Streets barren, stores empty.
Well, then I won't be at Romines because I'll have another job to do.
Well, yeah, you're going to be waiting tables.
No.
Hey, you got any of those cable boxes?
Oh, I'm not that guy.
Let's get back to the phone
that's your
zone.
truck out front, isn't it?
As
That's
we
the limo.
continue to talk about the WWE Royal Rumble, let's go to line one. Bowman from Boston, you're live at the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Bowman, what's happening?
Just watch Raw. I was disappointed that they didn't have the.
Wait, you were disappointed watching WWE? I think that's. Am I right?
Not as much as I was disappointed in watching WCW, which is
a defunct wrestling organization that went out of business and was purchased by WWE in 2001.
But I was kind of disappointed they didn't have the big, fight at the end. But other than that, it's the Royal Rumble. People are going to order it. It's one of their bigger pay-per-views. It's like they just need to announce that they're doing a Royal Rumble or Battle Royal of any kind, and people are going to order it and watch it anyway. But
are you going to?
Oh yeah,
Rashe's not.
Oh no, I'm gonna watch it.
Rasche will order it once we gives him, that box.
Again,
I don't have to order it. I have the box. Or
again,
I will after
for those
the show.
paying attention in the TWC, this is a coded message. I don't do that
anymore.
He's
going to be called in tomorrow morning.
Bowman, who do you pick to win the Rumble?
I'm going to stick with my pick that I picked earlier in the year, and I'm just going to late last year, which was just Kofi Kingston. Because I really don't care if the other big guys win. I don't care.
I have a question. I don't pay attention really, but is Hornswoggle in the Rumble?
He's probably under the Rumble.
Folks, he meant that question, by the way.
He'll be in there. Oh, he'll be in there. And I guarantee you he'll eliminate somebody. He's going to get an elimination.
Wait a minute. If Rey Mysterio could win it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can happen. It definitely can happen. I'm just going to stick with my pick with Kofi Kingston, only because he was the only guy to actually get a win out of all the contenders that they were talking about tonight. He's the only one that got a clean pin outside of DX, and I don't care about them. So.
All right, Bowman from Boston, thank you very much for calling in. As usual, a great call. Let's go to Minnesota now. John from Minnesota, you're live on line 2 here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Hey,
what do you have for us?
Just a couple of things. First, I thought the guest host job.
Sounds like
John, they had to change up.
Oh, go ahead, John.
John,
Sorry,
you're
you
gonna
cut
have
out
to
a little bit
repeat-
there.
yeah,
You're talking about the guest
please.
host.
Hey, guys. Oh, yeah. The fact that he did pretty. They did pretty. I thought he did pretty well considering the whole appendectomy situation, and I kind of thought that the way that he took that threat from Alicia Fox, I kind of saw shades of Kurt Hennig, I swear.
You mean shades of Alicia Fox?
Yes, see?
Fish had the question of the night before the show asking if Alicia Fox cut a promo like Mr. Perfect.
I think she did almost a better job. She definitely looks better than Kurt.
Honestly, why don't you just go to his grave site and just kick up the dirt?
Hey.
I mean, come on. You're killing the legend of Mr. Perfect.
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
I'm
kidding?
paying tribute
How
to
great
Kurt
was
Hennig.
it when JR called Mr. Perfect matches? John from Minnesota, thank you very much for calling in. Here to the Rasche, here's what the problem is this week.
By the way, Rasche Brown, Ring of Honor.
Yeah. NWA one half and NWA World Tag Team Champions also.
Okay.
I am generally able to continue this show along its guided path. This week has been an exception.
A challenge.
Challenge, of course, yes, dealing with these two personalities.
Well, it's one personality, one opinion.
What are we doing, Frank Lapp?
No.
But anyways, we're going to get to the callers here. They've been waiting patiently. Dave from New Jersey wants to talk a little bit about TNA Wrestling. You're live.
Yes, hey, guys. How's it going?
Excellent.
First, I'd like to say I'd love to have Dave Hero pick some lottery numbers for me.
Hey, you don't even play the lottery, do you, Dave?
I don't play the lottery, no.
Huh.
Hey, as long as we're not talking about divas, Dave Hero is always right.
That's right. And happy most of the time, too.
Absolutely. I nailed
Anyway,
all of them.
What? Anyway, what I wanted to talk about.
Wait a minute. Did Dave PayPal you or send you a check?
We got to
Directly.
talk after the show. I need the details.
Hey, I was just a fan, guys.
All right, Dave, interesting points. What do you have to say about Total Nonstop Action Wrestling?
Well, I enjoy the conversation every week we have about the Monday Night Wars, part 2 coming up. But my question that I think has to be asked is, can TNA even win this, potential battle with WWE? And if they can,
Go ahead.
In my humble opinion, it's not really humble, but
but it's yours.
They don't have to beat WWE to be successful. They need a piece of their pie.
Mm-hmm.
The same way Ring of Honor needs a piece of WWE and TNA's pie,
Mm-hmm.
which we will have shortly.
Yeah.
But it's not about beating them. It's about making money. That's what this business is for. So as long as they make twice as much money as they made last year, and New York made twice as much money as they did last year, TNA doesn't care. It's about making money.
Everybody wins, and that was the point we made on Monday, January 4th. 3 million more people than normal tuned in to wrestling on a Monday night.
Which was a win for
Exactly.
all.
It's a win for everybody.
It's a cry for help. Wrestling fans want to watch wrestling, not Saturday Night Live with a wrestling ring in the middle. I don't know what we're yelling
You're
about.
intense over there. Wow.
And
honestly, I've been in this business. I've been wrestling for 15 years. I was a wrestling fan, and I want to be a wrestling fan. And I want that on my television. I don't want skits and stupid goofball crap. I want wrestling, and that's why I'm here. That's why Ring of Honor will make a dent in this business this year like you've never seen before. We have Jim Cornette. Everybody knows Jim Cornette. And
The Dairy Queen King.
Yes. And if you know anything about wrestling and wrestling history, you remember Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Ooh, JC.
Yes, exactly. Enough said.
Thank you, Dave from New Jersey, for that call. Let's go out to Queens, New York. Moses, you're live on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Moses. I just actually, you know what? I love the ROH talk. I actually purchased 2 tickets for my father and I for the New York show, and that's my big question. That's my man, hell yeah, that's my big question though, because everybody's talking about TNA, you know, being worried about WWE, but shouldn't TNA be worried about ROH? Because I honestly think that if ROH gets a good deal, they could possibly, you know, go head-to-head with against TNA and, you know, possibly beat them in the ratings if they step out of the HDNet, you know, spectrum and go on to regular mainstream cable.
I understand your point, and I agree 1 billion %. The thing is, HDNet has been great to Ring of Honor. We started another year with Ring of Honor with HDNet. We're not going anywhere from HDNet. That doesn't mean we can't have international distribution from some other fronts, which may or may not be in the works. I can't say. But honestly, they really should worry, because where I am in Ring of Honor, there is no politics. There is no, this guy's older than this guy didn't shake my hand at the airport. There's none of that crap. Politics are out the window. The people decide who will be on the television.
And the very outspoken Austin Aries, by the way.
I love Austin Aries because everybody else hates his guts. What you see on TV is probably Austin Aries turned down a few notches.
Turned down, yeah. We're in the wrestling business. Everybody says they turn themselves up.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, man? I just got to say one thing, man. By the way, the SkullKrushers, I actually saw you guys on NWA. I think it's NWAWrestling.com. You guys are legit, man. Let me tell you something. I saw you guys, and, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, they're like, you know, the better version of the Dudleys. No. I don't consider, no, hell no. You guys are legit, and let me tell you something.
I know.
I've seen you wrestle singles. I think it's great, but if you guys, you know, went to ROH as a team like you did in the NWA, or if you actually wanted to jump ship to whatever other organization, you guys, I could honestly, because you guys are way better. What does the WWE have? Crime Time. Who else do they have? You know, HBK and the
Moses, we got about 5 seconds left here.
This is the deal, Moses.
Right.
Don't compare me to another black and white tag team.
Well, wait, you're
I'm a
Bubba
wrestler,
Ray, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a wrestler.
The conversation continues in the Chatmosphere at PWRshow.com. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Absolutely perfect.
About the Henning family.
Oh, my God. We'll have to spread them out over the course of the next several months. Whew. That was a good tease. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN at ESPNMilwaukee.com. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero, the SkullKrusher Rasche Brown, and the man they call Meathead. We're live Monday, January 25th, and Meathead during the timeout over at PWRshow.com and the Champmosphere. What did all of our listeners out in the Internet wrestling community have to say?
Diamond X says that, you know what, we need that guy to be quoted in the new opening. And he's talking about Rasche Brown, not screaming, I want wrestling on my TV.
I only speak the truth.
I'm telling you, you basically just made the opening. Good job.
Every job I do is good.
Okay. Every job you do is good. Ring of Honor on HDNet tonight. That's available on anywhere that you have HDNet. Also, they have a YouTube channel. We're going to get some of your work available on the PWRshow.com site. You can also visit the newly relaunched BlizzardBrawl.com. Get some of the videos that featured a lot of matches with the SkullKrusher Rasche Brown.
Whoa. I had those.
No, those are classics.
I know.
Vintage.
No.
I believe Al Snow said it was like wrestling a couch.
Wow.
He did.
Wow.
And we do have to speak. There's been many a wrestling show we've seen around here with Rasche where, unfortunately, the guy he wrestled, his chest was never the same again because it turned into hamburger meat.
You are the top master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the phone lines back at the PWR phone zone. The number by which you can join us is 276-ESPN locally or 1-800-990-ESPN. Let's go to Anthony from California who wants to talk about this Sunday's Royal Rumble on pay-per-view.
Hey there, guys.
Anthony.
The Rumble match itself, I think it's going to be a good one, but it's not going to be the best because I consider the best Rumbles are like 92, 2002. I mean, one with Triple H won and Austin's third one. But in your opinion, what were the best and worst Rumble matches altogether?
Wow.
As the Rumble match or as the matches on the Rumble?
No, just the Royal Rumble match.
1995, worst.
I'm going to go with 92.
Was that the year Flair one?
I don't know.
Dude, retract that. You'll never hear the end of it if you stick with 1992 being the end.
Okay,
that's
I'll
probably
go
one
with
of the best.
97.
No chance.
From the Alamo Dome.
No, 98 was no chance in hell. No, 99.
No, this takes some thought. No, we'll do it next week, guys. We'll do it next week. Why not? No, we'll do it this week on TV. We'll do it live.
All right, we'll do it on TV. That's as long as Meathead opens the door this time.
There's some reasons I don't let you in.
PWR Primetime available Friday on Time Warner Cable Channel 14 right after WWE SmackDown and on demand at PWRshow.com. We'll bring you our best and worst WrestleMania moments. Speaking of best, let's go now to the 10 best WrestleManias of all time. And this week we owe you our number 9. Let's just review for last week. The Kaz saying WrestleMania 1 was number 10 in the 10 best WrestleManias. Meathead picking WrestleMania 2000, otherwise known as WrestleMania 16. And for me, the choice was WrestleMania 22. So now, gentlemen, let's go around the room and select what was our number 9 best WrestleMania of all time.
Frank's.
Okay.
I did speak with Mr. Cosentino, the head Italian here, and before he left, he said it was WrestleMania 9. Wouldn't give it a reason. He just said WrestleMania 9. And then, phew, gone.
I mean, I got to ask you. I'll give you the match. You tell me what WrestleMania it was.
Oh, you're playing Beat the Meat?
Absolutely.
Not in front of me, you're not.
With the Doinks and Luna with Bam Bam.
WrestleMania 13? No, Bam Bam wrestled LT at 13.
You just, no.
Dude, I think I won.
LT was 11.
I won. Come on.
So it was 13, wasn't it?
No. I think it was like 9.
Ask Frank. If it was 9, Frank would know.
It was the Doinks against, Luna and Bam Bam.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to block that out.
This is just fun. Number 9 for Frank. I'd write that down if Dave Hero didn't steal my pen.
It's right here.
That's not my pen. I use the highfalutin one.
There you go. That's
G2.
the soft one. Yeah.
Okay. Keep it moving. Here we go.
I don't think you should ever tell me to keep it moving, Mr. J.R. Basher over there.
I wasn't bashing JR.
He did not bash
How can you make fun of
you.
a guy with Bell's palsy?
I'm not making fun of a man because he has Bell's palsy. He just happens to have that, and I'm talking about a gentleman that has that.
For me, Meathead, what was your number 9 WrestleMania?
My number
Frank
9
was 9 on 9. Yours is?
My number 9 WrestleMania was actually 8.
Part 8.
That was the
Return of the
Vegas
Ultimate
one.
Warrior?
That was the Vegas one. Am I correct?
No.
Oh, Vegas was
You are
10.
just failing miserably.
No.
8 was Hoosier Dome. 62,000 or so.
9 was the JR
Vegas.
return, right?
The JR debut.
Whichever.
You dudes are too smart for me.
Isn't he though?
That's like a joke, and it's not all at the same time. I'm taking the JR return, so then it's 9.
Whichever WrestleMania it was. Dave Hero, your 2 best.
WrestleMania 6.
Okay, is that number 10 or number 9 for you?
That was
That's
the
number
Hogan
9.
Warrior?
Hogan Warrior.
Okay. That was the one with Edge and Christian in the ring, in the arena watching as fans?
Yes.
The one that we hear about all the time?
Yes.
They somehow found them in the crowd of 93,000.
Right.
Kind of like
exactly. And Mick Foley when Superfly was doing his
and kind of
Flash in Madison
kind of
Square
like how
Garden.
they used to find Stacy Keibler all the time in WCW Nitro TV shows.
For me, the 9th best WrestleMania of all time would have to be WrestleMania 24 from Orlando, Florida. Ric Flair's retirement, the great matchup.
And that's the 9th best? Wow.
For me, it is, yes.
Okay.
Some very good things happened at that pay-per-view, and we'll continue to bring you the 10 weeks of WrestleMania over the course of the next 10 weeks right here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540
You're writing
ESPN.
this down, right?
I am writing this down, and let's not
I don't
forget.
want to say 6 next week, you know?
You would.
I'll keep it all under control here.
Don't,
We'll be
don't
covering.
I get a moment here?
Ladies and gentlemen, Rasche Brown.
Mine was
4. Say 4.
No, it was 3. Because, I was a poor kid, and
Well,
you being a cable guy, you understand this. During WrestleMania, literally, and not joking, I had to stand on the cable box and press the A and the B button and watch WrestleMania in a squiggly line for 3 hours.
You know what?
That's the only reason it's 9.
That's not how I watched wrestling, but I watched other programs.
Well,
like
you had the
that.
box back then, too, right?
Yeah, the AB split. And then you would actually tune
The
it to
Pro
one
Wrestling
channel, go
Report's
to
going to
channel
be
2.
live in Phoenix, Arizona at Baby Steak and Lemonade.
Armando Estrada's.
With complete and total coverage of WrestleMania 26. We're going to be live with remote videos and all kinds of other information. That's going to be at WrestleMania 26 coming up at the end of March. Be sure to follow pwrshow.com for all the information on that. Gentlemen, let's talk about this Sunday's Royal Rumble matchup, and let's go over the participants as we know them right now. 6 names not yet announced, but the ones that are announced. Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, Mark Henry, Evan Bourne, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, John Cena, Jack Swagger, Santino Marella, Montel Vantavius Porter, The Miz, Shawn Michaels, The Big Show, Triple H, Carlito, Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin, Yoshitatsu, William Regal, Zack Ryder, The Hurricane, Batista, The Great Khali, and Kane. Of those names so far, do you see a winner yet meet it?
No.
Rasche Brown.
Evan Bourne.
Did you say Triple H?
Triple H is in the Rumble, yes.
Yes.
Okay, there could be a winner there.
David Hero, you're on
Absolutely.
record, Triple H.
Triple H.
Let's talk about the other matchups on the card. The ECW Championship will be on the line as Christian defends the title against Ezekiel Jackson. Dave Hero, your thoughts?
Christian, easily.
To carry it to WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Big Zeke.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture an interesting match between these two, and on paper it looks like somebody puked on the paper. I'm just gonna say Ezekiel's strong as hell because I've wrestled him before, so he can hold down.
So if you're a couch, is he like a lazy boy
This
recliner?
dude, if I'm a couch, he's the thing you throw the couch in the alley that smashes it. Yeah, that
Okay.
dude is a
I've seen
beast.
people stack couches just to get
Meet
the
it,
cable.
Christian versus Zeke.
It's Christian.
I think that's pretty much clear there. However, they could do something. It is only the ECW Championship, so they can do whatever they want. The Undertaker versus Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is 2 good guys, 2 faces. Dave Hero, your thoughts. Undertaker walking in with the World Heavyweight Championship. Will he walk out?
I kind of feel that Triple H, Shawn Michaels might get involved in that match, and Rey Mysterio could leave with the title.
Oh.
All right.
You getting ill there?
Now, hey, if Shawn Michaels can't win the Rumble, maybe he has to go after
But
Taker
he wouldn't
that
know
way.
that because that match would be before the Rumble.
Well, Taker's got to have a reason to take the match at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels. Right now, he's got no reason to.
So maybe not at Rumble, but at the next pay-per-view,
The
Shawn
Elimination
Michaels is
Chamber?
going to cost Taker his title.
Possibly.
Rasche?
I am going to go with
Hurts you to say that, huh?
Beating the Undertaker.
Undertaker's your pick. Or Mysterio's your pick.
Yes, maybe they have some Mysterio match they need to push.
Meathead, your pick in that matchup.
Mysterio wins by disqualification.
What?
Taker keeps the belt.
You know, if they do want to get rid of Rey Mysterio, if he does want to leave, what better way to be done with him than have him get destroyed by the Undertaker?
Well, they can drop
Taker
him off
won't destroy him.
Can't they just drop him off at Chuck E. Cheese?
Then make Taker a heel.
No, you have to have an adult go
Hey,
with him.
all Taker has to do is give him the tombstone or the choke slam or the last ride, and he'll beat him clean. But that's enough to send Ray away.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report at 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We're live Monday, January 25th, 2010. Meathead, what kind of interesting conversation was going on in the chatmosphere during that timeout?
Blanchard Buzz says, if Mysterio wins, the chatmosphere riots. Plain and simple.
He is a former world heavyweight champion.
Heavyweight champion.
World. Want to remind everybody that this Saturday, MIAW is going to be having a show, Papa Luigi's 2, south side of Milwaukee. Actually, I believe that's in South Milwaukee.
South Milwaukee, right.
That's going to feature a battle royal of its own, a Royal Rumble of its own. That's this Saturday
You know
night.
what? Since I'm here, I'm going to be there, too.
Do they know that you're coming?
I don't care.
What is Angel Armani going to do? Is he going to really stop him?
No.
That's this Saturday night at Papa Luigi's 2 down in South Milwaukee. Let's go to the phone lines now. Sam from Dallas wants to talk a little bit about the Royal Rumble. Sam, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey, Sam.
All right, man. I want to say this real quick. If the Royal Rumble comes down to Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and John Cena, I'm done with wrestling.
Then you might as well just be done now.
I mean, it's obvious.
Hey. Watch Ring of Honor.
I've been watching it lately, man. I mean, I've been loving it. I just haven't had time to watch it just because I've been busy with other things.
Well, Sam, thank you very much for calling in with your perspective on the Royal Rumble. Gentlemen, we were talking about the matches for the Rumble. And for the WWE Women's Championship, it's going to be Michelle McCool defending her title up against Mickie James. Meathead, your thoughts?
Good luck in your country career.
Dude, Mickey's going to go over.
To country?
No, she's been getting beat down every week. She's got to, come back.
This is the send-off. I love Mickey. I love Arby's. But it's MC Cool.
Yeah.
Rasche, your thought?
That's him.
I'm going to have to go with McCool because...
MC Cool.
Because she's dating the Taker?
Exactly.
Okay.
You put it so nicely. Dave Hero.
I think Mickie James is going to leave the champ.
All right. All over the board there. And the final contest we'll talk about is clearly going to be the main event.
Whoa. You forgot the other one.
Yeah, what about
Maurice and Gail? No, Maurice and Gail.
It's a shame.
We talked a little bit about that earlier.
And Maurice.
So in the interest of time, I was going to...
It's a shame.
Oh, there's two.
Whoa. Sheamus, the champion of WWE.
And heel.
Will
true
be
heel.
defending that title against Randy Orton.
Not a true heel.
David Hero, your thoughts?
Sheamus. Absolutely.
Rasche, your thoughts? Sheamus versus Cena. Sheamus is the WWE champion.
Well, we just saw a preview of Sheamus and Cena tonight, right?
Right.
No,
but Sheamus Orton.
Sheamus versus Orton at the Rumble.
Okay. This is a different aspect of.
It's almost like a Macho Man versus Jake Roberts.
This is one where they should let the people decide.
Then Sheamus will win.
And who's going to be the face and who's going to be the heel in a match?
Sheamus will not be the good guy. He won't.
He'll be the heel because Randy Orton's not a true heel.
Yeah. No. That's wrong. That's incorrect. Yeah, that's incorrect. I give Orton the babyface edge because he's a handsome guy, and Sheamus is.
So Randy Orton can never be a true heel if he's a handsome guy.
So what? Are you a moron?
Yeah.
Look how good
Ladies and gentlemen,
look. I cheat every day of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, right there, the reason
You are
one
a
of the
meathead.
final reasons that the
Archie
SkullKrusher
Bunker
Rasche
got
Brown's
you
on
right,
this
buddy.
program.
Born dead.
We might
from
have to call you Meat Torso because you're dumb from the waist up, buddy.
Your thought.
I love Billy Holcomb. I know he will start. Does it matter?
Nope. And that's the Royal Rumble this Sunday on pay-per-view. Going to be down at Romines, High Pockets on the south side of Milwaukee. And we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, it's our top 5 of the week. And a couple of people we need to really discuss here on the Pro
You have
Wrestling
blown
Report.
off the biggest topic of the week.
Which is?
We'll talk about it after the break, but I'm very disappointed.
Oh, that's a tease.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Here we go. Old school, baby.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. This takes me back to the days when I used to walk up and down my street with a boombox on my shoulder.
Was the 8-track down there also?
Oh, no. It was CD. That was new back then. No, I'm sorry. It was a cassette tape. Mixtape, you know?
If you haven't become a friend of Damian Nelson on Facebook yet, there are some old school pictures floating around on the internet from him of the 80s. Hilarious.
You were around in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I spent the whole decade of the 80s. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we got some unfortunate news, especially more unfortunate here in the Midwestern region, as representative of the NWA, Ed Schumann, passed away. And obviously, Rasche, you've spent a lot of time working with Ed, and David Hero also working with Ed quite a bit as well. I've met Ed a couple of times, quite a nice gentleman, a man who seemed to care a lot about the business and the people in it. So, gentlemen, your thoughts on the passing of Ed Schumann?
Well, for me personally, Ed Schumann is one of the most respected people in this business. I mean, coming from me. He did so much for me and my partner Keith Walker and guys like Silas Young and Awesome Kong. And you name it. His word was his bond. Let me tell you a quick story. Me and Keith Walker, we teamed up. We had a match. And the promoter didn't pay what we were supposed to be paid. Ed found out about it. He was furious. Ed paid us. I said, nope, you're not doing it. He said, you know what? All I got is my word. I told you guys what you were going to get, and you're going to get every penny. The check's in the mail. The check was in the mail 2 days later. I love you, Ed. You're the best. I'll try to take the path you took, do what's good for good, and not what's good for you at that moment. What's good for good.
Ed Schumann certainly will be missed here in the Midwestern region, and as a matter of fact, today, Georgianne Macropolis also passing away.
No way.
Yeah. A very special person in the wrestling business, someone who was very helpful to a lot of people, including this show at times, and David Hero. I understand that you had a very good relationship with Georgianne.
Georgianne was an amazing woman. I mean, a big fan of this show, a big fan of Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, a great fan of the things that we've done, and died so suddenly. I mean, she was, fine at, yesterday, had a heart attack today and passed. 67 years old is way too young. And the wrestling business lost two great people in the past week. And Georgianne Macropolis is just an amazing woman who is so unselfish when it came to wrestling. I mean, she wanted everyone to have a good time. At WrestlingFigs.com, she posted every event, that was coming up, every signing. And she's going to be greatly, greatly missed. And, may her memory be eternal.
And it's rare in this business, and to the point of Ed and to the point of Georgianne, it's rare to find people who are willing to work with each other for the good of the business, the greater good of the business. A lot of people seem to be in this for themselves and view everything as either competition or a threat. And these are two people who certainly did not see things that way, and two people who will be thoroughly missed in the wrestling business. Gentlemen, let's move on quickly, and we're going to modify the top 5 this week, and we're just going to do our top 3, okay? Just in the interest of having just about 3 minutes left here in the show. And actually about 1 minute left in the show. So quickly, let's just do our number 1 around the table. Dave Hero, Alicia Fox, Rasche Brown's going to say JR, Vita's going to say the true heel Randy Orton, and mine would be...
What?
Ms. Markey, because he's awesome. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I would have said the Nasty Boys. You guys forgot to talk about them today.
You got to save some of it for TV.
Well, listen, they beat Kevin Nash and Eric Young.
This Friday night, the Pro Wrestling Report on demand, Pro Wrestling Report prime time. We'll be back with you again here on 540 ESPN with a major announcement about WWE SmackDown coming to town next month. That's next Monday night, right after WWE Raw here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We'll see you at Romine Sunday night for the WWE Royal Rumble. Again, this is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.